I wasted so much time and effort trying to build muscles in the gym. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build muscles without doing endless amounts of reps and sets, and how you can actually start building muscle with like hypertrophy, getting the stronger biceps, all of that. I'm going to give you the method, and then I'm going to show you how you can implement it into your own workout routine. There's probably 3 reasons to why you're not growing, and one of them could be your diet. For example, your diet could be like you're not getting enough protein, or you're not eating enough calories, or if you're trying to lose weight, you're not eating less than your maintenance calories, right? So again, when it comes to like growing, your diet is like the 80% in like building muscle. So take it as like this. Your training is easy, right? You go into the gym, do your 1 hour of bench press, squats, deadlifts, whatever. You do your workout. That's the easy part. But the actual hard part, where you're gonna get like the most bang for your buck, is gonna be your diet. Thus being like the 80%, because you can't out train a bad diet, but sometimes you can out diet bad training. Now, ideally, you don't want either of them to be bad. You want them to both be perfected. But in like, as a contrarian, you want to out diet that. You want to out diet the training rather than out training a bad diet. Because if you try to out train a bad diet, you're gonna make minimal gains, and then you're gonna look like a slob. If you want to bulk up 10 to 20 pounds in the next 3 months, go click the first link in the pinned comment or in the link in description. Back to the video. Like for me, as an example, when I like first started training, right, I didn't give 2 shits about my diet, right? I just want to get bigger. I just want to go to the gym, get my protein up. Like that's all I cared about. So I just go to the gym, doing my 6-day a week push pull legs, and then do like 2 hours in the gym, whatever. Come back home and I just eat whatever. I didn't really care whether it be chips, curry, junk food, whatever my mom made, chicken salad, whatever. I just wouldn't put too much of an emphasis on my diet at that time, and I probably could have made more gains from it. Because at the same time when I was like doing that, like not giving a damn about my diet, my progress plateaued. Even though I was training like shit. So if I had like out dieted my if my diet was at least good, my training could have been mid, but I still would have made more gains and probably passed or progressed through my plateau, is what I'm trying to say. Now, I couldn't do that because my training was mid and so was my diet, right? I thought maybe I can out train a bad diet, but reality is you can't. At that point, you're just like, you're damaging the muscle for no reason, and it's just pretty much like a cardio workout. Now, the second reason why you probably aren't growing in the gym or building, growing your physique, is probably because you train like a bitch. And I say this like out of like the kindness of my heart. When I say like you train like a bitch, it's like you train to mild discomfort instead of like training to failure. Because you're probably doing 4x12, 3x12, 5 by whatever, X amount of reps and sets. And what this does is that you're not giving your muscles a reason to grow, right? If you can do all 4 sets for 12 reps easily, you're not really like challenging the muscle, right? You're not really giving it a reason to grow. Now, sure, you could like up the weight, but the one problem with that is when you up the weight, but you're trying to go for like all 4 sets of 12 reps, you're gonna get like 12 reps, 10 reps, 4 reps, maybe 3 or 4 reps again, right? This is because like you're training, like, no, not your training. The volume is so scattered. It's like you got 2 good sets here, but then your muscle just went fuck all in the last 2 sets. And this is like why like high vol like this style of training doesn't really work, because there are better ways to train, 1, and 2, you're just performing more junk volume. And because again, you got the 2 sets already, right? The first 2 sets you did pretty good. You got 12 reps, maybe 10 reps, easy. But the third and then the fourth set, you got 4 reps and then another 4 reps. That was more detrimental to your progress rather than actually like helping you build the muscle. And so what you actually want to do is you want to give your muscles a reason to grow. You want to give them a purpose to grow. And you do that is by training to failure and lifting more weight. So let's say I'm doing 40 pounds on weighted dips, right? If I can get 12 reps, great. Second set, again, I got 10 reps. That's great. Now that I got like that 10 to 12 reps, my next workout, I'll try to do 60 pounds or 55 pounds, depending on whatever I'm using, right? I'll go for the same amount of reps, 10 or 12, somewhere around there, and then I'm gonna, let's say I get 8 reps, okay? Then the workout after that, I'm gonna try to aim to 12 reps. This is how you want to get stronger. Like, you want to aim to get new weight PRs or rep PRs. Adding more sets isn't progressive overload. And I remember when I used to do training like by 4x12 back when I was like first starting the gym, right? I did like thinking I was like doing some gains, and to be fair, I did make some gains, but again, I plateaued and I wasn't able to like progress through it. I remember getting to like 40 pound on like incline bench press, and I was never able to go more than that because I was always doing like 3x8, 3x12, just like 1, 2, 3. So I'd get to 12 reps, rest a couple minutes, go on to the next set, and then rest a couple minutes. Right? And then by the time I get to my third set, I'm way too tired. Why? Because I rested too little and I gave all of my effort to the last 2 sets. So that the point of the third set is pretty much irrelevant. Now, there are some times where doing high volume or a high amount of sets does work, and that's like when you're a beginner or you're trying to learn a new movement and you don't want to go too hard on it because like of injury. That's like it's understandable, but like if you're watching this video, you know, you want to get stronger, you want to get bigger muscles, and so in order to get a bigger muscle, you need to get a stronger muscle. As like the quote by like Mike Mentzer, a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle, and a stronger muscle is a bigger muscle. Now, the third reason that I can think of why you're not progressing in the gym is because of your sleep or your recovery. So what happens in your sleep when you're like done a workout, eat clean food, what it does is that during your sleep, it repairs all the damage done to your body through your workout. Because like when you're working out, you build up like these micro tears in your body. So like muscle growth never really happens in the gym. No, muscle, I guess, destruction happens in the gym because like you're tearing the muscle fibers and you're trying to like stimulate the growth. Where in your sleep, that's where the actual muscle growth happens, and that's where you're trying to like get all the nutrients from your diet to help pair up the build the new muscles and repair the old ones. So what I'm trying to imagine this is your baseline of muscle, right? You work out, it brings it here. Now your muscle's at this level. Now when you're sleeping, it takes the nutrients from your diets and the stimulus it took from the workout, it brings up to base. But because in the human body is really efficient and it wants to make that lift a lot more easier, it's going to stay at base, but it's going to go a little bit higher. And so that's pretty much what happens about muscle growth during your sleep. So you want to prioritize sleep as much as you can because that's where majority of your muscle growth is happening. So ideally 7 hours, minimum 7 hours of sleep, and at most maximum 9 hours of sleep. Now another part of recovery that people don't really talk about is the sets between the rest. Or no, the rest between sets, my bad. Some people just do first set 3 minutes rest, second set 3 minutes of rest, so on and so forth. because you're training to like moderate, like good intensity, like you're reaching failure. You're not training like your bitch. You're not training to like mild discomfort. You're training to like where it hurts, like to your utmost limit. You want to rest maximum 7 minutes, minimum 4 to 5 minutes. That's how much you want to rest for, is because you're pushing yourself so hard. Your muscles are gonna need more time to recuperate so that they can give like that same intensity to the next set. So again, just to recap, you want to focus on sleeping 7 to 9 hours, because that's where like majority of your muscle growth happens. And 2 is you want to rest more between your sets. And sometimes you're gonna feel uncomfortable because like other people are in the gym and they're like waiting for the machine. Here's what I'm gonna tell you: either make a new friend and work in with them, or just deal with it and like wait. Because look, your workout should be like your utmost priority, and if you're taking like a couple extra minutes just to rest, so what? You got time, bro. And again, just ask them to work in with you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, thank you for watching this video. Peace.